Welcome to True Health. I want to talk about the most harmful foods that people still eat every day, naively believing, influenced by attractive ads, that they are eating healthily. In reality, these foods are thousands of times more dangerous than we can imagine. They are behind an alarming number of heart, circulatory, intestinal, and metabolic problems, far beyond anything we've seen in human history. Today, I want to help you open your eyes to what you've been consuming and often, what you've been offering to your family. The foods I'll mention are responsible for causing insulin resistance, nutritional deficiencies, dysbiosis, leaky gut, autoimmune diseases, and chronic inflammation. The reason we need to take this very seriously is that these issues affect the majority of the world's population. We have insulin resistance in probably between 50 and 80% of people globally. Nutritional deficiency is likely a reality for everyone, but it's more about the degree. How severe are these nutritional deficiencies? Dysbiosis, which is an imbalance in gut microorganisms, probably affects over 90%, and a good percentage of that, maybe 30, 40, or even 50%, likely has some degree of leaky gut. Autoimmune diseases have been skyrocketing in recent years. I personally have an autoimmune thyroid condition that likely started before I made drastic changes to my diet and lifestyle. Officially, about 1 in 10 people worldwide has an autoimmune disease. In the US, it's 1 in 7, or around 14 to 15%. But that number is significantly underestimated because testing is rarely done. When it comes to chronic low-grade inflammation, it probably goes hand in hand with insulin resistance. Most people experience some level of low-grade inflammation. It's just a matter of how much. Even though these 4 factors are responsible for most degenerative diseases, suffering, and deaths today, we don't take them seriously enough because they don't kill us quickly. If an animal eats something poisonous, it gets sick and learns to avoid that food in the future. But these food products, which we can't really call food, take decades to harm us, which is why we struggle to pay attention to them, even as we become accustomed to feeling unwell with the symptoms they cause. Let's dive a little deeper into the first factor, which is insulin resistance. Clearly, sugary foods and drinks are at the top of the list of worst offenders. This includes things like soda, sweet tea, energy drinks, popular coffee drinks with sugar, and even fruit juices. When it comes to solid foods, we're looking at all sorts of snacks, candies, baked goods, breakfast cereals, protein bars, ready-made meals, and so on. All of these items that contain added sugar are particularly harmful because they create 2 main problems. One issue is glucose, which raises blood sugar levels and insulin, leading us to become insulin resistant. The other problem is fructose. About 50% of these products with added sugar are made up of fructose, which can only be processed by the liver. This quickly overwhelms the liver, resulting in non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, which makes the liver insulin resistant, and that condition can start spreading to the rest of the body as well. So, anything with added sugar is harmful. The second item on the list is artificial sweeteners, which were developed as alternatives to sugar, but end up confusing our metabolism. While we know that sugar raises glucose and insulin levels, these sweeteners were meant to work in the opposite way. They were designed to be calorie-free and not cause blood sugar spikes. However, because of their sweet taste, they confuse our brains, leading to increased insulin production. We're talking about sweeteners like aspartame and sucralose, which are among the top sellers right now. These products disrupt insulin signaling and reduce the amount of beneficial bacteria in the gut. By interfering with gut flora, they destabilize the balance, further hindering insulin signaling, since this process partly relies on gut microbes. So these calorie-free artificial sweeteners ultimately contribute to dysbiosis and insulin resistance. The third point on our list is foods with a high glycemic index. These are starch-rich items without added sugars, meaning they don't contain fructose, but do have a substantial amount of glucose. Examples include potatoes, rice, and flour, particularly refined flour. It's essential to recognize that while some people can consume these foods in moderation, others should be more mindful of high glycemic foods, depending on their metabolic health. For those with metabolic issues, insulin resistance, or type 2 diabetes, especially in cases of severe insulin resistance, it's advisable to avoid any added sugars and be cautious with foods that rank high on the glycemic index. If you have good insulin sensitivity, you may be able to tolerate a bit more, but it's still smart to watch your intake. The fourth item on the list is food additives and preservatives. There are hundreds of them, and they can cause a variety of effects. Among these effects, many interfere with digestion and in some cases bind to nutrients. When these additives attach to the nutrients your body needs, you cannot absorb them properly, as they are already associated with other substances. Additionally, these additives disrupt the gut microbiome, further contributing to dysbiosis, which impairs your ability to digest and process food effectively. Many of these additives are considered carcinogenic. Some studies suggest that certain additives, particularly artificial colorings and preservatives, may be linked to hyperactivity problems and other behavioral disorders in children. The fifth item on the list is trans fats. Many people may not realize that they reduce absorption in cell membranes, affecting cellular signaling in the body and decreasing the ability to absorb certain nutrients. Additionally, these fats also decrease enzyme activity, which is essential for breaking down food and facilitating absorption. Another important point is that trans fats are known to increase inflammation. They result from the use of vegetable oils that typically undergo very aggressive processing. While the oil itself may not be the best choice, it is subjected to a hydrogen bombardment at high temperatures and pressure, leading to products like margarine or vegetable shortening that definitely harm your health. Sometimes these oils remain somewhat liquid, especially when used for frying, but trans fats are essentially just a step away from becoming plastic. In addition to increasing inflammation, trans fats are associated with a higher risk of heart disease, as they raise LDL cholesterol, the bad cholesterol, levels while lowering HDL cholesterol, the good cholesterol levels. This can lead to plaque buildup in the arteries. The next category encompasses inflammation and disruptors of the gut biome. We will focus on common processed meats, including sausages, bacon, ham, and others in this category. The issue doesn't lie necessarily with the meat itself. While I wouldn't consider these cuts the best option, when they are processed naturally, without a lot of preservatives, nitrates, nitrites, sugars, and other chemicals, they can still be a healthy choice. What makes these foods harmful are primarily the chemical additives they contain, such as nitrates and nitrites, which are often added to preserve color and extend shelf life, but are also linked to serious health problems. Therefore, it's always preferable to choose artisan meats that do not have these additives. The seventh item on the list is energy drinks. The combination of high levels of sugar and caffeine in these beverages is particularly harmful to health. Studies show that these ingredients not only increase inflammation in the body, but can also damage the intestinal lining, leading to digestive issues and raising the risk of intestinal diseases. Additionally, these drinks have the potential to alter the bacterial balance of the gut flora, which can result in dysbiosis, a condition that negatively impacts overall health. Another aspect to consider is that energy drinks often contain other additives, such as taurine and ginseng, which can interact with caffeine and cause additional side effects, such as increased heart rate and elevated blood pressure. Excessive consumption of these drinks can also lead to issues like insomnia, anxiety, and caffeine dependence, while providing no real nutritional benefits. Therefore, it is important to be aware of the risks associated with consuming these beverages and to consider healthier alternatives for boosting energy. The eighth item on the list is fried foods. The reason these foods are so harmful lies in the use of low-quality oils for frying, typically highly processed vegetable oils. During the frying process, which involves intense heat, these oils oxidize and become even more damaged. Additionally, they are high in omega-6 fatty acids. When the ratio of omega-6 to omega-3 becomes overly unbalanced, it becomes an inflammatory factor in itself, contributing to a range of health issues, including cardiovascular and metabolic diseases. These fried foods also damage the lining of the gastrointestinal tract and increase inflammation, negatively affecting the gut microbiome, which is essential for digestion and immune health. Research suggests that a diet rich in fried foods may lead to a reduction in beneficial bacterial species, promoting dysbiosis and disrupting the intestinal environment. Although these foods may seem very tasty, their health consequences are alarming. Internal organs, especially the liver and digestive system, pay a high price for poor dietary choices, highlighting the importance of opting for healthier cooking methods, such as baking, grilling, or steaming. The ninth item on the list is excessive alcohol consumption, which poses serious health risks. This habit damages the intestinal lining, increases inflammation, and contributes to intestinal permeability, allowing toxins and harmful substances to escape into the bloodstream. Like fructose, alcohol is metabolized exclusively by the liver, which can lead to hepatic overload. This, in turn, drastically raises the risk of developing non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, especially when alcohol is consumed alongside sugar, creating an even more detrimental combination. Additionally, excessive alcohol consumption is directly linked to increased insulin resistance, which can lead to metabolic issues such as type 2 diabetes. Over the long term, this resistance can result in severe complications, including heart disease and hormonal disorders. It's also important to note that alcohol can interfere with the absorption of essential nutrients and immune function, further compromising overall health. Therefore, it is crucial to moderate alcohol intake to preserve liver health and digestive function, as well as to maintain adequate metabolic balance. The 10th item on the list is all ultra-processed foods, such as soft drinks, ready-made meals, sauces and condiments, cookies and snacks, instant noodles, etc., which pose a serious health challenge. These products, typically found in packaging and with a long shelf life, account for between 60% and 70% of the calories consumed in the United States. While the U.S. has been the pioneer and leader in this consumption, it is alarming to note that the rest of the world is rapidly reaching this level. Even if your region has not yet reached this percentage, it is evident that we are accelerating toward it. The central issue lies in the harmful effects these foods have on our health. They are known to contribute to insulin resistance due to the high amounts of sugars, starches, and harmful oils they contain. Additionally, the processing of these foods results in serious nutritional deficiencies, as most essential nutrients, such as fatty acids, vitamins, minerals, and fiber, are removed to prolong the shelf life of the products. This search for nutrients leads us to consume more processed foods, resulting in overeating and a state of being chronically undernourished. Another crucial point is dysbiosis and increased intestinal permeability, conditions that often arise from excessive consumption of sugars, preservatives, and artificial sweeteners found in ultra-processed foods. These factors, combined with chronic inflammation associated with insulin resistance, oxidized components, and additives, create a vicious cycle that negatively impacts our overall health. To promote better health, it is essential to choose fresh and minimally processed foods that preserve their nutrients and natural benefits. By explaining it this way, I hope you understand what these components are and realize that it's not that complicated to stop consuming them. If you simply eat meat and vegetables, whole and unprocessed foods, and cook at home, you will have solved 90% of the problem. I hope you can find inspiration, and start making a big change in your life and routine today. Understand that the quality of the food you consume can directly impact your health. The fatigue you feel, the aches in your body, the lack of restorative sleep, the condition of your skin, intestinal issues like constipation and reflux, and even diseases like diabetes. All of this can be the result of poor nutrition. I speak from experience, as I have gone through these challenges myself. My goal is to alert you and raise your awareness that it is possible to live a quality life. You don't have to live this way. Now, I would like to ask you a question for reflection. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Will you be traveling and enjoying life, or spending time in doctors' offices, dealing with problems that you could prevent today? In addition to adopting a healthier diet, you will start to feel much better, with more energy and mental clarity. Your body will become less inflamed, and you will see life in a new way. Everything that prevents your body from living fully, at its maximum potential, only brings harm. Seek freedom and knowledge. You were made to be healthy and to shine. Our Creator designed us to be whole, creating a perfect balance in our bodies. If you truly want to understand how health works, subscribe to the channel, activate the notification bell, and turn on all notifications so you never miss a video that could transform lives. If this content resonated with you, share your decision to start eating better and embracing a new lifestyle in the comments. Love yourself, take care of yourself. See you in the next video.